You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's a phrase often used to signify that despite everything we do to manipulate things to go in our favor, be it events or even people, in the end, we can't control the outcome truly. You can manipulate a person into a position that benefits you, but in the end, all you can do is influence their decision. But you can never make them do something that is not already a part of their personality. If someone is a pacifist through and through, you can't make them kill. They have to have that potential in them already. In this way, one might say that the only reason why Madara tricked Obito into doing what he did was because Obito subconsciously wanted to do so already. This could be signified by his declaration to Kakashi that he would destroy all the so-called real shinobi during his speech on why they should rescue Rin. That being said, Naruto's heart has always been pure, and when all I've done is make him decide to leave the village, I can't make him stay out of it without altering his personality heavily. That being said, Naruto looks like he's ready to come home. That's me leading the horse to water, but him refusing to drink. But realize Naruto isn't the only horse that I've led to water. So the question remains, will Sasuke drink, or will he too return to his original path? Will he disregard his brother, or will he spare Danzo and the leaders of Konoha? There's only one way to find out. So buckle up, Buttercup, we got a story to get into. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Kakashi stood there in the middle of the facility, the room Orochimaru had chosen to be his bedroom. He looked around the room and saw the bloodied mess that one might have at one point in time called Orochimaru. It was so bad that one could hardly even make out who this was. Even Kakashi, who in times past had the mental image of Orochimaru seared into his brain, could now no longer distinguish the body from, well, probably some form that I'd best not describe. Looking over, he saw Naruto sitting on a chair in the corner, Sakura and Sasuke hovering nearby. Sasuke was leaning over him, talking. Kakashi could just barely make out what they were saying. "I just didn't want to believe it," he said. Sasuke stood there. This was not the moment for an "I told you so," but despite that, Sasuke couldn't resist. "Did you think I was lying when I said Orochimaru wanted you for your body? How he would use you and throw you away?" Naruto looked down. "I understood that, and perhaps a part of me always knew that this was how it was going to end up. He wanted me." "For the wrong reasons, Naruto," Sakura said as she continued to check him over for wounds. He was perfectly healthy, but she couldn't help but be overly cautious. Sasuke took a deep breath and began to speak. "Were we not enough for you, Naruto?" Naruto didn't look up. "It wasn't that you weren't enough. I just couldn't go on every day being reminded that I was an outcast. I couldn't walk the streets every day and see the looks on their faces. I couldn't stand being attacked and beaten just because I was a Jinchuriki." Naruto looked halfway to tears. "Do you know what it's like to want nothing but good for your village? To try so hard every day to make the world a better place, and then some freak with a tailed beast like you shows up and makes a mess of your home, and everyone who saw it, despite the fact that it wasn't you, tries to attack you because of how similar you and the other guy are? Imagine if the entire village suddenly tried to kill you because you looked like Itachi." "Don't go there, Naruto," Sasuke said as he looked down. Naruto's eyes were captured by Sasuke's gaze. A sudden chill ran down Naruto's spine as he looked into a cold darkness behind his godbrother's pupil. Sorry, I know that's a sensitive subject. I'm sure you understand how it feels," Naruto said as he forced his gaze to slide off of Sasuke's. Sakura took a deep breath as she pulled back. She was sure Naruto hadn't been hurt, at least not physically. She looked at him. "You let yourself be blinded by your pain. You didn't notice what you already had." Naruto looked over at her with a hint of questioning in his gaze. She spoke. "Did you know that the Ino Shikacho trio attempted to rescue you? Neji, too." Naruto shook his head. "They were under orders from Danzo." "You know who wasn't?" Sakura asked. "Rock Lee." "Bushy brows?" Naruto asked. "Is that where the sounds of battle I heard came from when I was fighting Sasuke?" Sakura nodded. "He took on the entirety of the Sound Four to protect you, to bring you back. But wasn't he injured? Didn't Gaara basically end his career?" Naruto asked. Sakura nodded. "He did, yet he still got out of that hospital bed and went after you." Naruto looked down at the floor. I'll have to thank him." "You won't," Sasuke said. Naruto looked up at him. "Huh?" Sasuke looked down on Naruto. "You can't thank him for what he did. He died. He got himself killed and dragged the Sound Four to the grave with him. Naruto was overcome with a sense of guilt as tears began to form and pour from his eyes. No, that wasn't... I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. At this point, Kakashi began making his way over. Naruto, we know you didn't. Lee understood the risks and made that decision himself. But I put him in that position. How can I ever forgive myself? They were quiet for a moment. You made a mistake, Naruto, and someone died because of it. Tears were spilling from his eyes onto the floor as Naruto listened to his master. Kakashi then spoke. You're not the only one who's gone through that. I went through that. Because of my decisions, a friend of mine ended up dying. In fact, 2 friends of mine did. I no longer have a master, nor do I have a team to reconnect with. I'm the last of my team. One of them perished in a cave collapse because I made a faulty decision based on fear, and the other one died by my own hand when she flung herself in front of me. My father was the same. During the Second Shinobi World War, my father, Sakumo of the White Fang, was a legend, but he valued his friends over the mission, and he proceeded to sacrifice the success of an important mission to save the ones he cared about. This led to many others dying, and my father being an outcast. Attempting to regain his honor, he waited until I was gone and committed harakiri on our living room floor. But despite that, my heart was scarred forever. Kakashi put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Listen, Naruto. Honor, once lost, is believed by many to only be regained by ending one's own life. But I refuse to conform to that belief. After all, one can never atone for a past mistake to their village if they're dead. More lives can be saved by a living shinobi rather than a dead one. So in cases like this, the only thing you can do is continue living. But you have the choice to decide to be better. You can choose now not to let your mistakes define you. You can choose to live and fight for justice in the name of Rock Lee. It'll be hard, and your emotions and sorrow will likely fight against you, but persevere. Don't give up. Live a life that will make Lee proud and make him say, I made a good decision. Be strong and keep pushing through the pain. Naruto sat there and nodded. The group stood and began making their way back to the village. Once there, Naruto, of course, would be apprehended, which Kakashi would help make happen in a way that ensured that it drew no attention from anyone, nor caused undue stress for either sides. Considering that Naruto was a Jinchuriki, and that caused him to distrust the Leaf, and caused the Leaf to distrust him, it made both parties on edge during Naruto's arrest. Naruto would begin working to explain the situation to Danzo in an effort to make it seem like Naruto had done this specifically for the Leaf. He tried to pass it off as a 12-year-old patriot who didn't know how best to serve his village, making a mistake that led to the destruction of what could possibly be the village's highest known bounty in the bingo book. And while Danzo was mulling this over, he also couldn't help but remind him that Sasuke had also taken care of Itachi, who would have been the second highest ranking bounty in the bingo book. Basically, Kakashi was weaving a tale and formulating an argument that downplayed the severity of Naruto's mistake while upplaying the outcome of Konoha having captured and defeated the 2 greatest threats. Not only has my team eradicated 2 of Konoha's greatest threats, Kakashi said, but we did so under you. That means that your tenure as Hokage has seen a new level of peace and security that truly sets you apart from Hiruzen, makes you look like the true worthy successor. Now, Kakashi was stroking Danzo's ego. Of course, Kakashi knew that Danzo was aware of the game he was playing, but there came a point where you could set out a bait that, regardless of the strings attached, was too good to pass up, and it seemed that Danzo was going to take it. Tell your student that the Leaf forgives his misstep, and that we're grateful for his actions in regards of bringing Orochimaru to justice. Kakashi offered a slight bow of the head. Yes, my lord. You are excused, Danzo said as he swiveled his chair to face the window, where he proceeded to look out upon the village. Kakashi would begin to leave the room and make his way to see Naruto. Getting out to the cell, he had it opened and informed Naruto that he was free to leave. Naruto came out of the room and began to exit. He'd be allowed to return home. There he proceeded to rest. The day thereafter, he met up with Team 7. There were no missions assigned to them, just some trust-building exercises and slight training designed to get everyone ready to work together. Sasuke and Naruto especially were focusing on their teamwork building exercises, since Sakura would likely be hanging back a bit more due to her being the team's medical nin. She had prioritized safety, which meant that it would be Naruto and Sasuke who'd be doing the more dangerous fighting. After this though, Naruto and Sasuke sat under a tree, taking in some electrolytes from the particular energy drink they had been given to ensure that they stayed properly hydrated in the intense sun. So, how are things? Sasuke asked. Naruto thought about it. To be honest, it's not much different from how it was 2 years ago. People still look at me weird. I don't like that. Sasuke nodded. Well, I'm a bit disillusioned with the village life too. Why's that? Naruto asked. Well, Sasuke began, I had to fight my brother a while ago. As he was dying, he told me something I never knew. He said that he didn't destroy the clan of his own initiative, but that it was due to a conspiracy to eliminate insurgency by the Leaf. It was headed by Danzo, back when he was the head of Root. My brother was essentially blackmailed into doing it, and then forced to take the fall. Worse still, it wasn't required. Danzo could have stopped the Uchiha in a more peaceful way, but specifically chose to kill them. No way, Naruto said, unable to believe what Sasuke was saying. Danzo had the Uchiha killed. Sasuke nodded. It was everything I could do to keep myself from defecting right then and there. But Itachi told me to be strong before he died. He said I shouldn't kill Danzo or the elders, no matter how badly I wanted to, or the village would suffer for it. I'm sorry that happened, Naruto said. Sasuke shrugged. I was thinking about something though. Naruto raised a brow. Sasuke continued. While you were gone, I got to train with a man named Jiraiya. As it turns out, he's your godfather. And before he finished training with me, he named me his godson. That's where I got this Haori from. And not to mention, it makes us godbrothers. I was thinking, why don't we just go live with Jiraiya? We can keep each other company and we can stay away from people we don't want to see, all while working on our shinobi careers. Naruto thought about it. You know, that's gotta be better than what I'm suffering through now. I think everyone would be happy that way. Sasuke helped Naruto stand. They began making their way through the village towards some place where they could get something to eat. They headed to Ichiraku Ramen. Getting there, they saw there was a line. Wow, Daiuchi sure is busy these days, Naruto said. Sasuke looked around. Are you sure you wouldn't just rather eat somewhere else? He asked. I know there's a good sushi joint down the road with fish imported straight from the land of waves. It's said to be the freshest tasting fish around. I guess we could if you want, Naruto said. The thing is, this was always my favorite restaurant, and I haven't been able to eat here in a really long time. Sasuke smiled and gave in. Alright, I think we can stop in for a bowl. I just hope we don't have to wait here too long. My legs are already tired from our workout. Suddenly there was an explosion and Sasuke saw darkness. He was numb and cold. What had happened was beyond him. He had no conscious awareness of anything until he started coming to. As his eyes opened, he saw the shattered remnants of the village in his line of sight. Devastated. There were bodies everywhere, people screaming as they were twisted in grotesque, inhuman positions. Sasuke sat up and looked down. There were no major wounds on him, thankfully. He'd been lucky. He then looked to Naruto, who'd been flung a ways away. Getting up, he rushed to him and saw him laying there, his arm and leg broken in a horrific fashion. Naruto! Naruto! He shouted, trying to wake him up. Sasuke then looked up into the sky and saw a figure hovering there. The village was under attack. Sasuke continued to shake Naruto until suddenly his shattered limbs popped and cracked back into place, a quick red glow emanating from within, showing the Nine-Tails regenerative healing factor reducing Naruto's recovery time to a 0. Naruto's eyes opened and he sat up. What happened? Sasuke let out a sigh of relief. You got flung a ways off. Are you okay? Naruto nodded. Yeah, I think so. Sasuke helped them stand back up. As they looked up toward the perpetrator, they witnessed him lowering to the ground. They rushed off in his direction. Upon arriving, they saw a man in black with orange hair and ringed lavender eyes. He looked over. Oh, I was about to begin asking around for your location, but it seems as if you found me on your own, he said. Naruto, realizing he was talking to him, questioned the man. You wanted me. Why? The man then told him that he wanted nothing to do with Naruto and merely desired the tailed beast within. As he said that, 5 other orange-haired people with ringed lavender eyes appeared. You really are a freaky little band of weirdos, aren't you? Sasuke said as he looked around. What do you call yourselves? The lead man spoke. I am Pain, and these are my 6 paths. Surrender to us and we'll leave your village in peace. Sasuke looked back. More like pieces. You've already destroyed it. Why should we not just stand our ground and try to kick your ass? Sasuke asked. Pain maintained a cool demeanor. Doing so will result in unnecessary death for you and the others in your village. I will not stop you from doing so, but I highly advise against it. Sasuke looked to Naruto and then back to Pain. No, I think we'll fight. Pain began to rise up. So be it. Sasuke looked to Naruto. I'll take Pain. You take his 6 paths. Think you can handle it? Naruto entered his second stage curse mark and his version 1 cloak together. I think I can manage. Sasuke then proceeded to activate his Sage mode as well as his Mangekyo Sharingan. He would activate his Susanoo to increase his reach, allowing him to grab Pain and bring him back to the ground. As he did so, Sasuke reached behind for his katana. Pain would form a chakra rod in his hand and ready it. Sasuke would rush at Pain and clash with him. Sasuke's blade grinded against the chakra rod of Pain, causing sparks. Pain hopped back and wove hand signs. Wind release, air bullets. He began launching waves of air bullets at Sasuke. Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan let off a crimson flash as they locked on each of the air bullets coming his way. Sasuke suddenly dashed forward toward Pain and the incoming bullets. Blade at the ready, he began to swing, carving through the bullets before they could hit, causing each one to split and pass by harmlessly. Getting in close enough, he began a barrage of chakra-filled strikes, hoping to cut through the chakra rod, but the rod did not give in to his attacks. In response, Pain formed a second one and began attacking Sasuke with both. Behind him, Naruto was dealing with the other 5 paths of Pain. His speed and ferocity was enough to keep them on the retreat. Despite this, he was still outnumbered, and he had little chance of winning alone, as he soon came to realize. That was until Kakashi and Sakura appeared to help him. Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan came in clutch when he could use it to forcefully teleport only the head of the Naraka path, destroying it for good. Naruto would proceed to take this moment and capitalize on Pain's confusion by then killing the Preta path. With that done, the odds were starting to turn in their favor. Sasuke was having issues keeping up with both blades. He ended up being stabbed in the shoulder by one of them. As he was, however, he was surprised when he felt a distant ping. He then realized that these various piercings in the bodies of each of the 6 paths were not there for decoration. They functioned as antennae for something distant to control them, and now that he'd been stabbed with the same type of rod, he could sense it. Sasuke planned to twist his body in such a way as the wound in his shoulder would pull the rod with it. He then took this moment of confusion to sever the arm of the Diva path. He would remove the rod from his shoulder and then turn to face Diva. Stepping forward, he would use the rod he took to push the last rod Pain held to the side before severing that arm too. Now, without weapon, Diva began attempting to get back into the air, only for Sasuke to reach up and grab him with his Susanoo. He would throw him back down to the ground and proceed to pummel him with his Susanoo's bony fists until nothing was left. He then released his Susanoo. Looking back, he saw Naruto and the others had the last remaining paths under control. Sasuke would proceed to sneak off, hoping that the Pains would focus more on Team 7 than on him. He would make his way toward where he sensed the ping. There he found a false tree, and inside were Konan and Nagato, the true body of Pain. Konan stepped forward to defend Nagato, but before she could do anything, she was devoured by Sasuke's Amaterasu. Nagato looked up at Sasuke, knowing that all was lost. Neither of them spoke. Neither of them had anything to say to the other. Nagato witnessed a darkness festering inside of Sasuke, a subtle hatred, and he knew there was no talking Sasuke out of this. Pain simply accepted his fate. Sasuke would light him ablaze with his Amaterasu and let the flames turn him to ash as well. Without Pain's influence, the bodies they were fighting would suddenly fall to the ground, lifeless. Sasuke would return to the village. During this time, they'd report back to Danzo about what happened. "It seems that was Pain," Danzo said. "You knew of this man?" Kakashi asked. Danzo nods. "I sent Jiraiya out to discover the identity of the Akatsuki's leader, and I received a report that his name was Pain, and that he possessed a Rinnegan, a dojutsu so powerful that no single person is worthy enough to utilize it. That being said, the body must be retrieved to ensure that they don't fall into the wrong hands." "Don't bother," Sasuke said. "I already burned it to ashes. The Rinnegan no longer remain." Danzo seemed slightly annoyed by this statement, and that was him displaying great control over his emotions. Deep down, he was insanely annoyed over this, but he decided it was best not to mention it. "That's fine, so long as they're no longer a threat to the world." Naruto then spoke up. "A second ago, you mentioned Jiraiya, right?" Danzo nodded. "Indeed. He was one of the best shinobi the Leaf ever trained." Naruto elbowed Sasuke. "That's our godfather." Sasuke smiled. "Where is Jiraiya, by the way?" Danzo sat forward. "That's the thing. As he investigated Pain for the Leaf, Pain caught on to him. Jiraiya had to face Pain and had to do so alone. This resulted in his death." Naruto's eyes widened. "Wait, he got killed?" Naruto looked at Sasuke, who seemed to be having an issue processing this. He was thinking for a moment in the silence, as the tension in the room seemed to be slowly but steadily climbing. "Wait, Jiraiya is dead?" Danzo nodded his head. "Yes, my condolences for your loss. You may see yourselves out." Sasuke stood there in total shock. "You sent Jiraiya in alone, and now he's dead?" Danzo's gaze turned back to Sasuke. "I don't believe I stuttered," Danzo said. Sasuke began to tear up. Danzo stood and walked around the desk. "Jiraiya was one of the best shinobi I've ever seen. I knew that if anyone could get this information, it was him. He was happy to do it." The words didn't seem to help Sasuke any. Danzo continued. "He loved his village and was willing to die for it. He followed any and all orders regardless of the cost. That's the mark of a true shinobi who deserves the honor he will receive. I will have him interred in the hero's cemetery, his name forever enshrined beside the likes of Hashirama Senju. Sasuke felt his tears drip down as the Mangekyo Sharingan he did not know he'd activated suddenly cast a Matarasu onto Danzo. Danzo stumbled back with a cry onto his desk. Kakashi reached out. Sasuke, what have you done? Sasuke stepped back. It was an accident. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Kakashi grabbed a nearby bucket of water used for mopping and threw it on Danzo. Danzo seemed to burn away, but as that happened, suddenly his body faded to nothingness and reappeared somewhere else in the room completely unharmed, no longer on fire. You treasonous Uchiha. You only prove all the more that I should have killed you all. Danzo then called for the Anbu to arrest Sasuke. Sasuke turned and dashed out the door. As he saw the Anbu coming, he ducked into another office and broke out the window. Kakashi turned to Danzo. Lord Fifth, please reconsider. I beg you. Sasuke's been under a lot of stress, and it's obvious that this was not his intent. He didn't mean to. Danzo stood there. It's obvious to me that he'd been corrupted by the same power that corrupted Itachi. He must be eliminated before he has the chance to hurt anyone else, Danzo said. Sasuke managed to hide in a dumpster nearby. He quieted his breathing and sat completely still. He listened closely to hear the shinobi run by. He then snuck out of the dumpster and began making his way off. Danzo would then throw Kakashi, Naruto, and Sakura out, demanding privacy. Kakashi was beside himself. He was unsure what to do. Naruto, on the other hand, knew exactly what to do. Kakashi, remember when Danzo said that he should have had all the Uchiha killed? Kakashi nodded. Yeah? Naruto continued. Sasuke was talking to me earlier, and he told me that Danzo had been responsible for Itachi's downfall. Kakashi thought back. Seems like he might have said something about that to me as well. Naruto continued. Despite everything, Sasuke's been trying to swallow his pain, but Jiraiya was the last person he could really call family, and Danzo just said he got him killed. Sasuke was even trying to convince me to go live with him and Jiraiya, and I said I would. It's obvious that Sasuke didn't mean to do this, but I feel Danzo isn't gonna stop until Sasuke's dead. What do you propose we do, Naruto? Kakashi asked. Naruto then spoke. We need to find proof that Danzo did this. If we can use that to get Danzo removed from office, as well as prove that Sasuke's accident was understandable due to a strained emotional state. Kakashi thought about it. I did spend time in the Anbu, and I did work for Danzo personally for a while. If the records exist, I think I know where to find them, but you should know, if we fail, it's treason, and we'll all be executed. Are you sure you're ready for that? Naruto nodded. I'm ready. Kakashi then looked at Sakura. She spoke. Sasuke is the love of my life. I'd die for him. Let's get this bastard removed from office. Kakashi then turned and began to walk off with them. Together, they would all head for a secret location outside of the village proper. The facility was buried under a mountain. It was Root's secret command center. Here, they'd be sure to have a safe place for leadership during times of war, in so much that even if an enemy-tailed beast were to attack the village leaders would be safe. It also hid records on the lowest floor, the secrets that they had literally buried to keep away from anyone's eyes. Team 7 was now sneaking through this facility to find it. As they descended deeper, the security seemed to increase. Thankfully though, Kakashi knew what he was doing. Taking 3 of the nearby agents, he knocked them out and stole their gear. He had Naruto and Sakura change into it, as Kakashi himself did too. He would then paint on the particular tattoo of the Anbu on their arms. Now we should be able to pass through without fear of being caught. Elsewhere, Sasuke stood in the alleyway outside of his apartment. He wanted to go back and grab a few things, but he knew he couldn't. The guards would catch him if he did. Turning around, Sasuke began to leave, only to find himself face to face with a member of Root, who pushed him out into the open. From there, he was attacked by multiple agents. Sasuke pulled his katana to defend himself. The agents pulled their own blades from behind their backs and began to surround him. Sasuke looked around, his Mangekyo activated. He knew that there was no chance for him to be able to defeat this many Anbu at once. They were all trained to handle threats like him. They were the elite of the elite. There was no way he could escape. That was until he noticed someone else in the crowd, a man with a swirling orange mask and the same type of robe as Pain. The man drew closer, displaying his own katana. Suddenly, the masked man began to cut down Anbu agents. After he took down 2 of the 8, the remaining 6 turned to face him. 2 rushed to stab him, but he phased with his kamui, causing the 2 Anbu to stab each other. He simply walked off the blade as if it hadn't even touched him, and in fact, it didn't. He would then walk forward. The final 4 were now circling around him. 1 would attack from behind. The masked man would duck under the blade and would come around, carving his adversary in 2. He would then throw a kunai into the skull of another. As the last 2 attempted to capitalize on this, Sasuke Sasuke rushed forward and took the remaining two out with his own katana. As they went down, the masked man turned to face Sasuke. Sasuke took a step back, raising his blade to face him. The man drew closer. "Stay back," Sasuke said. Suddenly from the ground, a second one popped up. It looked like a plant, but in fact it was a shinobi, and it was holding something. It tossed it to Sasuke. Sasuke picked it up. "I assume you were looking for that there," the plant one said. The masked man then spoke. "You've been betrayed one too many times by this village. Why do you remain loyal?" Sasuke stood there thinking about it. "You don't have a reason, do you? Your brother was killed by an illness that could have been cured in Konoha, but he was pushed out, reviled, forced to murder his own clan, forced to be hated by you, and in the end, blamed, cast aside, and forgotten by the people who died to protect. So I ask you again, why do you remain loyal? My brother was loyal to his village. He died for it. Even if I hate its leadership, how can I put it in danger?" The masked man sat there for a moment. "Without pain, our plans can never come to fruition. He was the one with the Rinnegan, but now they're dead with him. But you are one of the few people with the capability of awakening a Rinnegan. Join us and we'll help you avenge your brother's sacrifice. Destroy the ones who stole everything for you." "I don't know," Sasuke said. "Well, what? Are you going to stay here?" Zetsu asked. Sasuke thought about it. "I don't know." Obito then spoke. "Do you remember where your brother was buried?" he asked. Sasuke nodded. Obito spoke. "Tonight, Zetsu and I will be waiting there. If you change your mind and decide to join us, go there." Zetsu sank underground. Obito then spoke once more. "I'll see you tonight, Sasuke." He then disappeared via Kamui, leaving Sasuke alone. Back at the secret base of Root, Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi would make it to the bottom of the base, and would now be searching through the file cabinets for any information on the Uchiha clan massacre. "What year did it happen?" Kakashi asked as he began opening drawers. Naruto thought about it. "I was 6, and now I'm 15, so that means it happened about 9 years ago." "Ah." Kakashi then moved 2 more file cabinets and opened the drawer. Inside, he began skimming through the many files for that year. He eventually found a large dossier with the seal of Danzo on it and the print "Top Secret" written across the file's envelope. "This is it. This should tell us everything about the situation. We need to get out of here." So they began to exit the building the same way they came in, keeping the file hidden in Kakashi's Kamui. Once out, they began to search for Sasuke to tell him. "How could you even be sure he's still in the village?" Kakashi asked. Sakura shook her head. "I don't know. I just know, you know?" Naruto nodded. "Where do you think he is?" Sakura shook her head again. "I don't know that either. I just feel he's still here." "Well, he won't be at his apartment," Kakashi said. "So where could he be?" Naruto thought about it. "I think I know." The group would then make their way to the cemetery. There they found Sasuke standing over the grave of Itachi, speaking with 2 individuals, both dressed the same way as Pain. "Sasuke!" Naruto called out. Sasuke turned around, growing defensive. Naruto rushed over. "Sasuke, what are you doing?" Sasuke then spoke. "I'm leaving the village, Naruto. I just can't fight for Danzo anymore. Not after what he did to my clan. And now that he's considered me a traitor, I have nothing left to do." Sasuke held up the dossier. "This is all the proof you need to bring Danzo down, and prove that the Uchiha were unjustly murdered. This could clear Itachi's name." Sasuke thought about it. Obito then spoke. "All that will do is see the old man put behind bars. It won't be able to put him in the ground where he belongs." "Don't listen to them, Sasuke," Naruto said. Obito put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. "Sasuke, you know that vengeance is what you want. I can see it. Your Mangekyo Sharingan burn with hatred. Come with us. We'll awaken the Rinnegan in you and give you the means to kill your adversary. Then, with the power of the 10 tails, you can bring peace and make a world like you so want to desperately see. But to do so, we need the 9 tails. If you're ready to take this next step, kill Naruto and take his 9 tails. Everything you desire is within your grasp. All you have to do is reach out and take it." Sasuke pulled out his katana and lit it aflame with Kagutsuchi. Naruto looked at the blade. "Sasuke, kill him," Obito said. Naruto then spoke. "Sasuke, I know what you're going through. I really do. But listen, running away like this isn't the way. I hurt you many years ago, got Rock Lee, Kiba, and Akamaru killed, and ran off to join Orochimaru, searching for something I already had. Family. But Sasuke, don't forget that Danzo hasn't taken away all of your family. He took away the Uchiha, your brother, and even Jiraiya, but don't forget the bond we share. I'm still your god brother, even though Jiraiya's passed on. I'm your brother. And Sakura, didn't you promise to one day be her husband? We're your family, and we love you. Please, don't make the same mistake as I did. I promise we'll get you justice. You just gotta believe." Sasuke stood there for a moment. "That's sweet, but it won't bring back the dead," Obito said. "Nor will it execute Danzo. If you want to get true justice, then come with us, and we'll make a perfect world with you standing at the head. What do you say?" Sasuke stood there for a moment. "I say..." He then turned around and impaled Obito, transferring the Amaterasu into his body. "Go to hell." He then turned to Zetsu and set him aflame as well. As the 2 shinobi burned away to nothingness, Sasuke resheathed his blade. He turned back to face him. "I'm sorry, Naruto. I almost made a mistake." Naruto hugged him. "I've made that one before. I forgive you." Naruto then pulled back. "All right. How about we go expose Danzo for his crime? And that's exactly what they did. The very next day, the news broke about Danzo's involvement with the Uchiha massacre. This caused public outcry against Danzo and his administration. Of course, Danzo attempted to maintain power by force. That was until the Fire Daimyo himself sent forces into Konoha to help smooth things out, along with his newly appointed Hokage, Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi would have Danzo and the rest of the Konoha council removed and arrested for war crimes and treason against the village. From there, he'd begin focusing on rebuilding trust between the village and its leadership. A few years would pass, with the remainder of the Akatsuki being hunted down and defeated. Sasuke and Sakura would be married and attempted to begin recreating their clan, starting with their first child, a daughter that they would name Sarada. And that's where the story would end. Remember when I said that you could lead a horse to water but you couldn't make it drink? I was insinuating that Sasuke could be made to choose to stay in Konoha instead of Naruto, but that in the end he would inevitably choose darkness. But here's the thing, I'm not so certain Sasuke would. If the proper circumstances were met, Sasuke would return to the light and stay there. Sasuke doesn't necessarily wish to go to the darkness, it's just what he's drawn to. But the very end of the series shows us that Sasuke is not fated to die in darkness, but to serve in the light, with Boruto going so far as to show him abandoning Konoha a second time just to protect it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to tell me what your favorite part was down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when more videos like this one drop, and while you wait for those, check out these other great videos. Anyway, until next time, peace out.